warm-up music for you. Sing along if you're ready. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. And we are going to sing a little call and response song. So I'm going to sing and you're going to echo me and Jewel's going to echo me. So if you're not sure how it goes, you look at Jewel, all right? We've done this once before. I shine, beat dance, heart sing, when given a chance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance. I shine, feet dance, heart sing, when given a chance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance. Stars shine, leaves dance, love sing, when given a chance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance. I shine, feet dance, heart sing, when given a chance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance. One more time now, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance, Spirit loves to dance.
Thank you, Lisa and Jewel, for your hearts. We appreciate it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. I love being up here because I get to say good morning to all the beautiful folks. This is cool. My name is Ron. I'm a licensed teacher. I'm a licensed Unity teacher here at Unity of Walnut Creek, and I get to say welcome again. So welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. We're really glad you're here. And also, for you folks online, thank you so much for being with us. I'm really glad you're here. We're really glad you're here. And know that you're an important part of our spiritual community. So thanks for taking the time with us today. And I'd like to just give our hands of applause to the boys in the corner, Dave and Max and Dan. Thank you for being here. And also we have a special singer who's a special brother of ours, Jabari Anderson. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for sharing your heart through song. We appreciate that. And if you are new to Unity of Walnut Creek, thank you so much for being here. And if you are here for the first time and are comfortable in doing so, we invite you to raise your hand now so that we may bring a welcome pack to you. There is also a connection card in your packet. Please take it to our bookstore for an additional wooden gift of a wooden necklace handmade by one of our congregants. Oh, okay. So we're all vets around here.
No, we're new, but it's our second time.
Oh, okay.
And we have it back.
Well, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Great. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Thank you. And for you vets, oh, great. Well, sure. Okay. Did you get a packet last time you were here? Oh, it looks like they need another one. Sure. Okay, great. Yeah, so welcome. Thanks for coming back. As I was saying, I was going to say normal folk, but I don't know Unity and normal folk, are they? For our veterans, we have the connection cards are available for everyone in the seat pockets in front of you. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer chaplains will pray with you throughout this week. You may also share some feedback with us on these cards. If you request information, our staff will respond to you during the week. The ushers will receive these cards during the offering. So now it's time to greet your neighbor. So if you would stand and say hi to your neighbor until you hear the gong, please. God, that went quick.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoe, and I'm going to tell you about a few announcements. Join us today for an author reading and conversation with Trisha Linden. Trisha writes novels that celebrate the magic power of love, romance, and relationships. We'll also have a light lunch and special discounts at the bookstore. We are collecting good quality books today and next Sunday for the Prisoners Literature Project. Please pick up a flyer on the patio today for more information. There is still room in Reverend Kristen's day-long nature immersion retreat this Friday at Briones Park. See the flyer on the patio for details on how to register. We'll be collecting teddy bears for the next 2 Sundays. We will fill them with our love before we give them to children in need of a comforting bear. Our bookstore has many bears available for you to pass on to a child. We have sign-up sheets on the patio for playdates and also for the Thanksgiving potluck. Now I'd like to invite Lisa to the platform.
I forgot I was coming up here. So, if you know the song, I am so blessed, and if you know God is my source, God is my power, then you know Karen Drucker, who is coming next week. And she is, yes, exactly. Karen is going to do the talk. She's going to do the music on Sunday morning. And then she's going to do a concert at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have a fabulous Karen Drucker Day.
And we have a brown bag lunch, right, in between? Picnic lunch. So bring your lunch or go off and get lunch and come back at 2 o'clock. And she will be starting off our change in the service times. So she will be here when we do no more 8 o'clock service. We do the 9 o'clock service here, a contemplative service, and then we do our 11:30 celebratory service. So if you are the early folks, we hope to see you here at 9 o'clock next week. Anything else I need to say? Wonderful, thank you.
All right, and for other announcements like this and to look over these announcements, you can look in today's bulletin. Now for some more music.
I am listening to the music of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a song God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. 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 I am lifted in the love of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a joy God is being. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Hallelujah. 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 I am moving to the rhythm of the Holy Spirit. This dance of light, God inspired, keeps me dancing. My faith is strong. Keeps me dancing. My faith is strong. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey means praise the Spirit in a Ugandan language. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Oh yeah, hey yeah. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long.
Wow, beautiful. Nice to hear you, Jabari. So I want to invite you to prepare for a time of meditation. You just maybe release anything from your lap, perhaps close your eyes, whatever allows you to feel comfortable. I think Annie will be bringing the lights down for us as we take in this song and take it deeper into our guided meditation and silent time.
Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel
So we begin to rest in the joy within us. Just taking a moment to drop into the heart space. And then allowing, as our hearts are open, maybe quite deliberately opening the windows and the doors of our own hearts. I invite you in this open space to bring forth a memory or an image of joy. A memory where you felt complete bliss, pure joy. Perhaps the last time you laughed from the belly. Or sometime when you felt the absolute joy of spirit overcome you. And calling forth that image or that memory as if it is happening right now, allowing yourself to feel again the emotions. And now we just settle into the vibration of joy and a few moments of silence with Spirit. I invite you now to raise the corners of your mouth into a little bit of a smile. And notice as you continue to stay attuned to the within, how that little bit of a smile resonates throughout your whole being. How the smile on your face is mirrored by a smile in your heart. And how that very subtle action uplifts the whole being, raises the vibration of the cells in the body. Feel how the energy makes you stand a little bit or sit a little bit taller. And so as we close out this time of meditation, we keep the smile in our hearts and on our faces that continues to spread good cheer throughout our beings and to all whom we meet. Thank you, God. So it is.
Hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. Know that God's love will never leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Love's who you really are, soon there'll be no mistaking. Don't let your growing pains leave you bitter. When you come closer, settle down, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice, just sit it out or dance. Dance, I know we'll dance. what we dance. We dance.
Wow, thank you, Jabari. That was beautiful. I've often commented to Jabari that he has such a joyful countenance. And so it's such a wonderful timing that you're here on the day of joy singing for the first time in a long time. Today we are harmonizing the great joy. This is the last in our fall series. We've been tracking along the way with the Hope, the Sacred Guide. I say that every time, the Guide to Sacred Activism. And, you know, we've been through quite a long journey. And part of it, of course, is about sacred service, is about sacred activism, is about our service in the world. And having just celebrated Veterans Day on Friday, I'd like to just honor our vets. Anybody who's in the room who served as a vet, if you would stand and let us honor you. Thank you, Mike, for your service then and your service now with us in this community. Mike is a really integral part of this community, as many of you know. And I'm not sure that we could pull off a Sunday without him. And I see another vet coming in, Candy. We were just acknowledging our vets, so may we acknowledge you? So joy, that wonderful, blissful, sometimes elusive quality, right? Called joy. Yesterday, one of our congregants, Jackie Grant, there was a celebration of life for her. Some of you may know her. She came a lot during the era of Carol Ruth Knox, and she came on Easter Sunday and a couple of times through this time that I've been here. And it was always a great honor to be a part of celebrating somebody's life. And as I walked in, the chapel was really light and bright. It was all white benches and flowers and beautiful smiling photographs of Jackie. If you knew her, she just had a really electrifying smile. And there was also this really fun, colorful outfit that was hanging, and it was like fuchsia capris and a purple shirt and a bright blue scarf and a multicolored jacket and a little pink hat to top it all off. And apparently that was Jackie's style, right? Full-on color, full-on joy. And so everybody who spoke referred to that as Jackie. And so Jackie was in the hallway as we came in, and then Jackie was up near the altar during the time of the service, and it just brought that light and that joy that apparently she brought wherever she went. So it was a great joy for me to be a part of that and to hear about, as her husband Nick said, everybody who met her fell under her spell. And that spell was a spell of joyousness. I just want to indulge one little story that he shared that Nick talked about his family, his parents being English and being a bit reserved, kind of typical Brits, a little bit more reserved and proper, if you will. And so when they came to visit, not long after the two of them had married, Nick and Jackie, he said he couldn't believe after a few minutes his parents were in their room reading in their pajamas. And he said, I looked in that room, I heard this hysterical laughter, and I looked in that room, and Jackie was telling a story all animated, and she was standing on their bed, and they were hysterically laughing. And he said, I don't think I've ever seen my parents like that. So it's that bringing of joy, you know, that is a part of who we are in truth. The ancient Egyptians believed that when you made your life transition, you were asked two questions. Did you find joy? And did you bring joy? Two wonderful questions, right, to hold for us, to continue to reflect upon throughout our lives, every day, in fact. Today, did I find joy? Did I bring joy? And we can carry that constant assessment with us. A Chinese proverb says, one joy scatters 100 griefs. We all know that to be true, don't we, though? When we're in the moment of joy, especially when we're sharing it with each other, because there's that sort of contagious kind of joy, right? We're in those moments of joyful play or laughter. Time stands still. We're not even aware of time. We're fully immersed in the present moment. Or perhaps for those of you who play and sing, when you're in that creative space of music, there is that sense of time standing still and a joy, a harmony of voices that come together. And so today our work is to not only find the joy within ourselves, but also then consider how we harmonize that, how we bring that out into the world together with one another. So Andrew Harvey speaks of the great joy. And this is the author of the book. And the great joy is that, those times when we touch the divine and we feel that sense of oneness with the divine, those moments of pure joy, of bliss. And then out of that, there is sort of that aliveness that wants to be expressed. Maybe it's expressed through dance, or maybe it's expressed through song, or skipping, or playing. But it's also maybe expressed in ways where we're bringing it out even further into the world, through some sacred service that brings us great joy. So on this journey, just to remind you of where we've been, on that first week, it was sort of difficult. Those who were in the study group said, boy, it was hard to just jump right into that chapter where we were facing the deaths of the world. Really taking a good hard look at things that are going on in our world, with our planet, and facing it head on, taking it in, feeling the feelings. Allowing ourselves to grieve that which may be no longer, or that which may be transforming and falling away. Death is like that, right? There's death and then there's rebirth. And we are a part too, of course, of that rebirth. But it does take that kind of willingness to take an authentic and real look and not just try to skim over realities in our world that are difficult for us to take in. And to take that in as community together is very powerful, because there's a sense of strength that comes with that, and a sense of authenticity that comes with that says then anything that happens in my life and in my community, I can face it head on with a kind of open-eyed or wide open-eyed willingness to really look, not to stay there, not to dwell there, not to bring ourselves deep down into the wallows of sorrow and stay there, but to feel the realness of that so we can move on. And so that's what we did partly in the first week, while we also began to catch the vision of the mystical renaissance. This mystical renaissance that is offered in the teachings that are about marrying both that inner work, the inner work of the mystic who knows, and by definition, mysticism is a direct experience with the divine. So the mystic who knows the divine, who's touched that blissful place within themselves, that peaceful place within themselves, and who understands that and practices that going within kind of experience, is the mystic, but also then marrying that with the other part of us that is an activist, the part of us that stands for what we stand for, says no to what we are saying no to, but even more importantly says yes to what it is that we're bringing forth, what it is that we're co-creating in the world. That's the rebirth, the renaissance. That's the part that we're working with here, that we're focused on here, the becoming, essentially. And so we own that as we also offer it out into the world. In this journey, we also recommitted to our spiritual practices. And we even deepened and expanded those practices. So maybe if we were used to the cool practices of meditation, we started to experiment with the warmer practices of chanting, for example, or body-centered practices like martial arts or yoga or dance or movement. Or we also looked at our dreams, other ways that we could begin to expand into the language of spirit, to perceive the symbolic language of spirit and allow that to be a teacher for us on our journey. And so we also surrendered to Spirit's guidance, and we addressed head on again those inner saboteurs, those shadows, those personal shadows as well as the collective shadows. So it's like we had that real look, and then we had another real look, and along the way there was that sense of we keep on facing, we keep on being willing to stand in a place of fierce love, a place of passion, and allow even our anger to be alchemized, our sorrow to be alchemized into the passion that it really is, into the fierce love that it really is. The kind of love that says no to what isn't working, no to what doesn't match up with values of things like inclusivity and love and connectedness and oneness and all of the things that we stand for in unity, right? Authenticity and so on. And instead to say yes to what it is that we do. So the alchemy of that, to take that righteous anger and allow it to be alchemized into passion and love and promise and possibility. Jean Houston said, at the height of laughter, the universe is flung into a kaleidoscope of new possibilities. At the height of those moments when we have transformed into joy or laughter or love, there is that kaleidoscope of new possibilities available, that all those colors and shapes and possibilities dancing together. And so now, and last week we built community, right? We talked about the collaborative networks of joy. So the importance of small groups, the power of small groups like the ones we've had all series, and then looking out from there into the places where we are each individually connected, or the communities in which we are maybe many of us in the same groups a part of, and finding ways that we can network that grace. So the power of that small group to work together, to serve together, to give to the world, and also to look for the connections, the places where it can be amplified, whatever it is that we are co-creating together. And what it is that we are co-creating together is a rebirth of a world that works for all, in the many ways that we might translate that, in the many ways that our hearts may beat harder at the opportunity to work in a certain field together with one another toward a cause we care deeply about. So now in this final week, we are at the great joy. This time of awakening, of opening, of experiencing, just like all of us have experienced moments of bliss, times of being immersed, like I said, in the moment and having that experience. In fact, that in the moment kind of joy is really well said by Mary Oliver in this poem called Mindful, which I may have shared with you before, but I really love it, so I'm going to share it with you again. I hope you love it too. Every day, she says, I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in a haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these, the untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made of grass? It's everywhere, really, joy. If we look, if we pay attention, if we slow down, if we come into the presence. If it feels elusive to you to be a finder of joy, because of course in order to be a bringer of joy, we need to have found it, right? So if it feels elusive, then we need to look. Where can we find the joy? So I want to give you a few suggestions. Have a 4-year-old move into your house. I recently did that, that's why I said that. And there is joy, always joy. But if that isn't so practical for you, or maybe not what you'd like to do, then maybe bring a puppy or a kitten into your house. And if that too isn't something that's really speaking to you, just hang out with these joyful beings. Find a way to spend a little time with these joyful beings. I didn't prep Brenly to tell her I was going to tell on her today, but When she needs a little infusion of joy, she loves those puppy and kitty videos on Facebook. And I love to hear her laugh so hard, so it brings me joy. And it makes me think of a time when last week I talked to you about the beagle that I had at one time, Hazel, the hairy mystic. And Hazel loved to play ball. I mean, she was crazy about playing ball. Like, she would not put it down. I always had to go hide it. And sometimes I would put it in the closet, and she'd just stand there and stare at the closed door, like willing the ball out. So she also had this little trick she would do. I'd be playing with her in the backyard, and I would tire, and I'd just decide I was going to go do something else, and I'd hear her ferociously barking, like just barking, or really insistently barking. And I come out, and you know those drain pipes that have like the plastic extension on them? She would put the ball in there and then stand there and bark for me to come out and get it in hopes that I would continue to play ball. So one day, I heard the barking, and then everything went quiet. And I thought, well, I wonder what happened. And I went out, and 5 feet of drain pipe are stuck to my dog's head, so it's her body and 5 feet of drain pipe, and she's doing the thing they do, like she got a hold of something. Oh, it was the funniest scene. So, things like that these beings do. And so why is it puppies and kitties and children? They come in fresh into this world in their natural state. And our natural state is joy. And so it is a reminder to us to tune into the child within us that will lead the way to joy. I promise you, if you say, inner child, take me on a date today, take me wherever you want to go today, and you will have a good time. I mean, like a raucous good time. So follow that kind of joy, and you will find it. There's a Sufi saying that says, within your house lies a treasury of joy. So why do you go begging from door to door? We don't have to look very far to find the joy within. Happiness comes and goes in our lives. Things happen in our lives that make us happy. Things happen in our lives that we decide are sad or that we're angry about. But joy is a state of being. It's a quality. It's a divine gift that we have. It doesn't ever go away. It's an enduring quality. And this is the great joy when we come into recognition of that, when we come into contact with that and experience that great joy. Then all we want to do is share it. So it's very natural, like this question that the ancient Egyptians believed they were asked, did you find joy? Did you bring joy? Because when we find it, it's particularly natural for us to bring it. DeWitt Jones is a National Geographic photographer, and he talks about how he was set out on assignment by National Geographic to really embody their mission, which was go out and find what's right with the world and photograph that. And he said, this is why most of us don't want to throw away our old National Geographics. Nobody wants to throw away what's right with the world. And that's exactly the kind of focus I think that we naturally have in unity, isn't it? To focus on what's right in the world. Eric Butterworth says, break the ties that bind the mind in his book, Celebrate Yourself. When the ties that bind the mind are broken, he says, and a person is introduced to their real self that has no limitation, the bells of heaven ring with joy. And laughter. Laughter is a great way to find joy, isn't it? When we are laughing, our bodies are loose, our hearts are open, we are fully in the presence, and maybe our bellies are laughing, the good old belly laughs and the tears that stream down. I mean, that's like really good raucous laughter, isn't it? I saw some pictures actually from the fall fundraiser where we were laughing pretty good, and I was wondering what happened in that moment. I was included in some of those, so it brought me back to the joy of that. And so laughter is truly contagious, isn't it? And you can actually spontaneously share a laugh at any time. Laughter just comes out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden you hear it and it makes you want to laugh. Right, John?
Creativity is not a fish.
Nobody knows where it's coming from. That's funny. That was Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin sharing a laugh with us. They actually have a laugh track on one of their CDs. They're coming to see us in March next year, so you'll enjoy more laughter and more joy, but please don't wait until then. I think one of the funniest things about this was I could tell you all were looking for where's it coming from? You know, laughter is cleansing. There's a Yiddish proverb that says, as soap is to the body, laughter is to the soul. You know, there's just sort of that cleansing. Everything gets a workout, too. Norman Cousins says, laughter is inner jogging. You know, you've probably heard that the organs get this great workout when we laugh because everything just sort of moves around and gets massaged. And there's a Japanese proverb that says, time spent laughing is time spent with the gods. Isn't that the truth? And there is movement. You know, I've heard too that the movement of walking is the movement of the human upon the earth, but the movement of dance is the movement of spirit. And that the spoken voice is the spoken voice of the human on earth, but the singing voice is the voice of spirit. And so to sing and to dance like nobody's watching, as the song says, is part of the charge to move into the great joy, is to lighten up and let go of our self-consciousness and let ourselves be children again, that dance and sing very freely. I know you're going to hear, maybe you're getting really tired of hearing stories about grace, but we have this clock that goes off every hour, and it's, you know, the world opens up and there's a little thing that comes out and spins around, and there's always music that plays right on the hour. Well, you know, after a while as adults, it sort of becomes background. You don't really even notice it. But if Grace is in the room and the clock is going off, she alerts everybody in the house it's time to dance. And we all come in the room and we dance at the top of the hour. So, you know, it's like there's that kind of constant reminder that life is meant to be fun, that life is meant to be filled with joy and laughter. So as we work together now as sacred activists, we can collaborate in this contagious joy, in this contagious laughter. You know, at the end of every service, I love that this community, I came into it this way, that you always say, have fun. And I was like, oh, I'm not changing that. I like that. And almost always at the end of that, everybody laughs. And so at the very end of our service, over and over again, we send ourselves out into the world with the charge to have fun and with a laugh. And if we could do that for ourselves every day, why not take that benediction into your regular practice and every day affirming that you are the light and the love and the peace on earth, shining your light right now and going out to have fun. And then out the door you go. And back home maybe again to have fun at home. So making that a part, weaving this into our lives, into our daily lives, even intentionally smiling. You know, while you're driving down the road, just practice that little smile, you know, that we did during meditation. And everything begins to smile. Your whole countenance begins to lift. Then if you come across somebody who's upset about getting cut off or whatever, all the reasons why people get crazy on the road, you can just be there smiling, letting them, please go ahead. I'm fine where I'm at. I'm in joy. And sending out that vibe because the world needs it, doesn't it? These aren't complex teachings, the teachings of joy, because it's who we are. It's really just a matter of letting go of the stuff that might be holding us back, right? As Meister Eckhart, the great mystic, said, you know, the spiritual journey is a process of subtraction, not addition. And so it's just getting out of the way, the stuff that we've put on, so that we can just be our radiant, joyful, authentic selves. And being that together exemplifies exactly what we need to be sacred activists in this world, to rebirth the kind of world that works for all. So together, let us laugh and dance and sing. And when we dance, we'll know we're massaging the earth and healing it and bringing it back to its full grandeur. And we'll know that when we sing, we are singing and joining with the voices of all beings all around the world, the birds and the humans and everything that sings. And when we laugh, we'll know that that laughter reverberates and brings joy to others, lifts somebody up, brings a smile to their day and to their heart, and therefore from them to the next and to the next. That's how the ripple effect happens. That's how we change the world. And together we are doing just that. So let's sign out together with an affirmation. It's a little bit long, but I know you can do it. Charlene always gives me a hard time when they're long. Together, I am joy, harmonized with the many voices of the one, dancing for the good of all. And if you can't remember that one all week, just say, I am joy, over and over again. Bless you.
Thank you so much, Kristen, for confirming what I've been meditating on for the past couple weeks. So I've been meditating on this divine spirit that flows through the universe, and it's always flowing. And I've asked the question, what feelings do we have that are natural to this energy flow? And joy was one of them. So thank you for confirming that that is part of who we are. It's part of our spiritualness and our humanness. I could go on, but I won't. So, prayer opportunities. Our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. They are wearing lavender stoles whether you have a joy or a concern on your heart today. Praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness. Amen? Cool. And now it's time for our prosperity celebration. Speaking of joy, yes, who said that? Who did that Yahoo? Yeah, my sister, right on. All right, so let us now let us now open our hearts to the consciousness of giving as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, so shall we receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance as joy is our true nature. There are varieties of ways to financially give to our community. If you choose to use the yellow card for a credit card donation, please include the 3-digit CVC code found on the back of your credit card. If you're an ongoing giver by credit card, please see Chandra in the bookstore with your CVC code. Without this code, we can no longer process your gifts. So please do that. Now I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat the affirmation that we will say together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. And so let's have some more joy.
I'm saying yes, yes, yes,
Yes, yes, Lord.
I'm saying yes, yes,
Yes, yes, Lord.
I'm saying yes, yes,
Yes, Lord.
I'm saying yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm saying yes, yes, alive. The spirit of love within me is expressing itself right now. The
joy within me is expressing itself right now.
What are we gonna create today? The universe is ready to play. Spirit will surely lead the way. You'll be just saying yes. Well, I'm saying yes. Ooh, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. Yes. Well, I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes live right now.
The spirit of life within me is expressing itself right now. The spirit of light within me is expressing itself right now.
Whatsoever you conceive, if you believe it, you can achieve it. The universe will always agree if you just say yes. Well, I'm saying yes. Yes.
Yes to life.
I'm saying yes. Yes.
Yes to life.
I'm saying yes.
Yes to life.
I'm saying yes. Yes. Say it, yeah, 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 yeah. Say it, yes to life. Will you surrender and say yes? Just let go of the wheel and say yes. Just say it. Will you let it flow? Say yes, yes. Will you surrender and say yes? Say it, say it, say it, say yes. I'm saying yes, yeah.
Yes. All right, let's bless our gifts with the spirit of yes, the spirit of joy, the spirit of abundance. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God, for all that we are, for our natural state of joy. Together, let's bless these gifts. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, unceasing flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. Here comes some more gifts. Let's sing in our children.
Today we're going to share a little bit about joy.
All right. How would you like to share a little bit about how joy makes you feel or what you felt? What did you do today that shared joy?
We read a book.
And how about some dance moves? Did you do some dance moves?
Uh-huh.
What kind of dance moves?
We jumped up. We did half cartwheel.
Did that make you feel joyful?
Yes.
And how about you, Sophie?
We did some art and we had some fun.
Yeah, we read a book on hugging and how hugging makes us feel and did lots of art. And yeah, we did some dance parties too. So that was fun. Yeah, we did Go Paula.
Sounds like a good time. So let's bless our teachers and children. Together, youth and teachers, you are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you. I invite you to join your neighbors. Take your neighbor's hand as we close out with a prayer of protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God ever present, and we all are we. Let us walk with each other. Perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You are the light and the love and the peace on earth. So let your light shine and have fun.